In today's video, I want to clear some things up and talk imposter syndrome. Yesterday, I made a video about making your old self look stupid, and I accomplished that in one day. At the end of the video, I was talking about how in the last 30 days of posting every day on YouTube, I had gotten to around 300 subscribers, which I was pretty stoked about. And then last night, I essentially 4x because of a couple tweets. Now, these tweets are saying made him 70 million, guy makes 30 million a year. In an effort to stay raw, transparent, and honest, I want to paint an actual picture for you guys, talk about what these numbers mean, what I did and do within this company, and then go through some imposter syndrome stuff. All right. At the end of the video, I make these videos every day, so I'll go through yesterday's stats on buyers, cash collected, and some Stripe company update. Last year, we did 30 million in cash collected in our women's fitness coaching business. Everything on this channel is me sharing what did work, what did not work, and what we are actively doing to scale to 100 million a year, all with the goal of finding top talent, opportunities, and networking with cool people, which is working. And all I ask is that you subscribe, comment with things that you like, any topic ideas you want, and like the videos you like. All right, so let's get into it. So cool guys right here, big in the media buying space, WAP, right? And saying that guy makes 30 million a year, like that hurts my soul to see. And I need to be able to like share this and be raw because I'm getting major imposter syndrome around this. All right. So like to paint this picture, this company was started before I was here. Okay. So they had already had product market fit. They already had the brand name. They were technically, I have other videos where I kind of go more in depth in the offers, but they were selling a low ticket app doing around 30 grand a month, call it, when I joined the team. Okay. So I was within the first 3 or 5 or 7 or whatever team members on there. Okay. At that time, I was hired to come in and do sales pages, and I was literally just doing like $1,000 every 6 weeks. So the team had already started the business. They had already done the 0 to 1 portion, already had all that existed before I came on. Okay. So I did not start this. It's not from scratch. The team built an insane product. So there are 2 main founders. One is very marketing, sales, like online marketing heavy. And then the other is the brand face expert and crushes it and has like an insane product. Okay. So there's a moat that exists in there between the results that she's already gotten, her story, all those things. So those 2 married together already existed before I even came around. Right. So like major leg up. So I don't want this to come off as like, oh, just built this from 0 and all of that. Yes, I was part of the team. Yes, pre 1 million, all of these things, but like, I don't want it to seem like coming off like I started this. Okay. Team does all the marketing. Now, a lot of people in the space are, what's the messaging? How do you do the ads? How do you do all this? Yes, I understand what the messaging is. Yes, I understand the ad tracking, all of the metrics on everything, like what we're optimizing for, all that stuff. But do I actually write the ads? Do I actually create the ads? Do I actually run the ads? No. And I never have. Okay. So big key point here. The other founder has always been very, very heavy in the marketing space and has always been more or less the media guy when it comes to this company. So now we have a team of actual media buyers and we have a CMO and we have all these things. But for up until 20, 30K a day, like he was doing the media buying, he was writing the copy, he was getting the creative made, he was auditing the creative, all of those things. Again, I am part of this. I'm seeing it. I'm understanding the strategy, all the economics, all that piece. But like when it comes to the real messaging, I don't do that part. Okay. So all of this is to say like the team built this company. And I don't want this to ever come off like, oh, I did it. Guy makes 30 million a year. Like guy behind the scene. Like, yes, I'm part of the team that did it. But to say that I am the one who did it is not really my job. Okay. So 30 million, 70 million, 100 million. What we have done, 71 million in total cash collected. That's the whole ClickFunnels jazz right here. We're on our way to the third disc, which would be 75 million in cash collected on this specific company. 30 million of that was last year in 2024 in cash collected. Okay. So the 3 years prior, we basically went from 10 million to 12 million to 30 million, and the margins took a dive. So again, guy makes 30 million a year. No, guy does not make 30 million a year. The company overall did 30 million a year. And when we scaled from 12 to 30, our margins dove. We did everything you could do wrong. I have a ton of videos talking about like what we did wrong, what we're changing, how we're changing things now. And all the videos at the end of the day, I'm talking about how we're doing, 20, 60, 40 grand a day right now, which is not good for us. Like that is not good math because of how big we are. We have 110 employees. We are constantly refining things and trying to get back to like the numbers we were because over the last 4 to 6 months, we took like a major dive due to acquisition. So like that marrying between marketing and sales. And then you have an entire coaching on the back end. So like back to this whole like team built this company, the product, it's outstanding. And like, that's a part that we don't even have to worry about because we have such good people on the team and strong leaders. Okay. So again, I did not do this solely. So quick background on what I did do and what I am part of. So like I said, I started off building sales pages for like $1,000 in this company, like every 6 weeks. Okay. So we were doing low ticket, then we were basically just doing low ticket, trying to sell info products, trying to sell recurring info, like community that then had an OTO. I have other videos where I go into the offers when we started this. And then I met one of the founders in consulting.com inside one of the communities of the product. So I wanted to run a call funnel kind of from the jump. We waited X amount of time, and then around world meltdown, COVID-ish, we were like, let's just run this. Like, this is how we're going to get to 10 million. And so I had already bought 1, 2, 3 courses about this. So I built the tech stack around this. The VSL structure I got from one course. I got the CRM setup from another course. The scripting I got from another course. Like, we basically just bolted a ton of courses together and just started to run this thing live. Okay. So all 3 of us founders were taking calls. So there was probably, I don't even know, 5 people on the team at the time, 7 people on the team. We were all taking calls. So like, yes, I was around from the beginning in that sense, but not in the sense of like the product market fit and the company being launched and the brand name and all those things, and like them already having product and results. Marketing and sales is run by someone else more so, but like we're in the trenches doing it all together. Okay. So like we scaled the sales team, we hired them, we did the group interviews, we led the team like in the OG days all the way up to $1 million a month. Or close to $1 million a month, because then one of our sales reps then became a manager. That all then exploded because you don't do that. We didn't know you don't do that. Big thing. But so we scaled the sales team, and then the team was always handling fulfillment. So at that point, it was an info product. So the fulfillment was lesser because it was like a group coaching model. But again, all of this is to say is like as we scaled, there are essentially 3 of us, right? As like the core like founder owner style thing. So founder 1 became and is still CEO and is like really strong in marketing and sales. So like overlooks CMO, does all that portion, which is like arguably you could look at it either way, but like what's more important is like the product or the marketing, and it's like both. But the marketing feeds it, the product fulfills on it and continues to get referrals and results, which then feeds the front. It's just like this vicious cycle. So founder 1, as we started to grow, leaned into being CEO, owner, marketing, sales, that side of things. Founder 2 leaned into, was always, brand face, but leaned into being expert brand face and product side of things. And even then has since like had killer coaches and stuff that have taken over in like operational roles to lead that team, but like her methodology, her things. And then I came in as what I was, then moved into mainly tech, and then more recently operations, like directly over leadership. Because again, we have such strong leaders that like COO is just a rough title. I don't really like titles in general, but like CTO, COO, whatever that is, it's like I have built the marketing tech, the operational structure, the org chart of style, or like the operational systems and stuff that we run on. And then my biggest thing is I just find bottlenecks. So like I could tell you what's going on in almost every part of the company. Fulfillment's kind of like over here and does a lot more of it. That has a really strong leader that does a lot of its own kind of, it handles a lot of its own stuff. And then I'm very plugged into all the new things we're doing in marketing, all the new things we're doing in sales, all of the combination between them. Because right now it's low ticket. It is changing up how we're doing the VSL funnel. It is the connection between them. It is the data tracking. It is the team requirements. It's like all these different pieces. So like I'm overarching on a lot of that and all of that. And so I run tech, simply put, run tech, leadership, and co-own the company. Okay. So like, I want to clear that up. It's not like I built this, I did this, and I'm getting a major imposter syndrome from this, because these whole like made and take home and all that are like so different. Okay. So different. Like I just want to be raw and transparent on these. And this video is a little bit different, obviously, than some of the other ones, just because they're usually just value packed and just like info. But I just want to share this because that is important before, this channel continues to take off. So made, take home, like I said, ads and marketing. Now, how I solve for this like imposter syndrome thing is I have literally done so much in ads and marketing outside of this company, specifically to stay up to date, feel like relevant, understand, have a pulse on the market. I've always been plugged into all the different groups, like Nothing Held Back, buying lead gen courses, affiliate stuff, e-com. Right before the end of last year, scaled up a dog product on a Shopify store as a one product store to like 100K just to like do it. I made all those ads. I did all the media buying. I built the entire shop. I did the entire back end. I did all fulfillment, like as a side thing, just to like cure the interest and just feel closer to the pulse, get a pulse of what things are going. So like, no, I don't run ads for this, but like, yes, I've run ads. Lead gen affiliate. I have a bunch of friends in lead gen that crush it. And like, I do a lot of the tech on their side of things. So I'll set up, as of recent, I haven't, but like I used to, where I would set up like lead forms and posts from this to this and like tracking and all of these different pieces. And again, like they had an offer where they needed more media buyers, stepped in, was spending like 30 grand a day on theirs. And they already had the offer. Again, they already had the creative and the assets, but like I was media buying for that. Affiliate stuff, I've gotten up to 5-6 grand a day, and then exploded every time, with like different affiliate stuff, whether it's VSL, like direct to carts, or more so on lead gen. And all I say is like, I'm constantly trenching. That's why I'm just like constantly trying to like solve for that imposter syndrome and solve for like being able to show up in a way that is valuable no matter what I touch. So like these guys talking about, Byra Media and, money Twitter right now, these guys likely spend more money than I do or have on Facebook directly. Like, yes, the company spent 9 or 10 million last year. We have a Google media buyer, we have a Facebook media buyer, we have a CMO, and then the founder is very strong in marketing and used to spend on it prior to that. It's like, not me. But then I could talk in circles around tracking and, the pixel and how we're setting up this and that and the structure between and the pass-through percentages from this to this to this. And like, I can tell you the overarching, but do I click the buttons, write the copy, build the creative? No. We have a creative director. We have an editor or 2 editors under the creative director. We have a copywriter. Like, we have an entire team of people that now do this. And I just want to be clear with that. I just want to make sure that it is very clear that you're listening to someone who does a lot of the tech and operations and structure and solves for bottlenecks. As my entire thing is just problem solving, solving bottlenecks, and scaling. Okay. Now let's get into yesterday's stats, because then this will paint another picture. Yesterday, we only had 5 high ticket buyers, which is terrible. We had 54 low ticket buyers, which is on par. And we only did 50 grand in cash collected. That is 1.5 million a month rolling, right? Or our targeting, trending. Not good. Oops. What did I do here? That was from the day prior, I believe, or something. See, raw, transparent, real. So 1.5 million is not good. Last month we did 1.6 million. Like, that is basically red break even for us, which is not cool. Okay. So last year doing 30 million, like, it was essentially, here, look at the chart so we can look at this together. But we were like scaling up heavy already by these months, and then had some little blips, scaled up, and then all of acquisition exploded right here. Or I guess technically it's like right here, and exploded. And we still to this day have not been able to get it fully back on track. These are internal promotions paired with new revenue. So that is like the big uptick here, like the saving grace on cash flow. But ever since then, we still have not been able to solve for it. So now we have setters, we have CMO. Like, I am so confident in the direction that it's going, but it is painful right now. And it's just kind of funny that I started to make these videos like during this period. Like, I don't sell anything. This is not a cash flow thing. It's not like here's how we did this. Now, like, buy this from me. Like, I have no interest in that. It's literally just to show like us in the trenches building, make network of people doing the same. And yeah, so I hope to share these soon, where these are back to good old numbers with 100K day, 120K day. I'll go back to making actual videos that are very valuable and helpful based on what you guys comment on these videos, DM, all of those things. But today I just want to share this imposter syndrome is real. I have whales following me right now on Twitter that likely spend, or X, sorry, that spend more than we do, than I do, that make more money, that do all those things. So I just hope this is valuable in how we think about things, the structure, the tech, the ops, the solving for bottlenecks, like our systems, because that's what I can talk about for hours and hours on end. When you start to get me into this like marketing piece, it's like, again, I can talk structurally and economics and like around this, but am I going to be the one sitting there with a Sharpie and a whiteboard? Those don't work together, but you know what I mean? And talking about how some brand new messaging from 0 to 1, like, unlikely, not really my speed. So yeah, that's today's video. Comment, subscribe, DM, all the things. Talk soon.